I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. We continue in the Gospels again. Christ is still in Galilee. He has visited Jerusalem, but he does not stay there because they want to kill him. And so his ministry has been centered in the Galilean area. Read a lot of miracles, a lot of sermons, a lot of parables. Most recently, we've been reading in Matthew and Mark. We had the healing of the daughter of the Canaanite woman, the feeding of the 4,000, his warning to beware the leaven of the Pharisees. We also had in Mark, very unique, two-part healing that is only in Mark. And that was the last thing we read. Here we are going to read about Peter and the apostles again. In this video we will be reading in Matthew, although what we read now is also recorded in Mark and Luke, which we will read in separate videos. In this video we have a Joseph Smith translation. Now what the Joseph Smith translation is, this is a translation or correction done by Joseph Smith to restore those passages that have been lost or corrupted over the years. Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 28. When Jesus came into the coasts of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" And they said, "Some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremias, or one of the prophets." He saith unto them, "But whom say ye that I am?" And Simon Peter answered and said, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered and said unto him, "Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Jesus the Christ. This is, again, another there's a lot of famous passages in the Gospels. Christ is just the greatest teacher. But always, who do other people say I am, and who do you say I am? Are we listening to what other people say about Christ, or are we seeking our own testimony, our own conviction, our own conversion? Is what we believe based on what others tell us, or based on what God has revealed to us personally? Also remember that Peter means rock, but it means a small rock, like a seer stone, like the Urim and Thummim, because Peter is being called, as the leader of the church, a seer. But upon this rock, a word in Greek meaning bedrock, I will build my church, meaning the revelation that revealed to Peter that Christ is the Son of God. That revelation is the foundation of the church. And as long as the church remains on that foundation, it cannot fall. If the members leave the foundation of revelation, they have no such promise. Now we continue verse 21. From that time forth began Jesus to shew unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem, and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and be raised again the third day. Then Peter took him, and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men. This is the first time that Christ is actually coming right out saying, look, my mission here is to die. I will be going down to Jerusalem, and I will be crucified. And Peter doesn't like this idea. He's like, no, we're not going to let that happen to you. But Christ says, Get thee behind me, Satan. Why? Is he calling Peter Satan? I don't think so. It's the temptation. Christ doesn't want to die any more than any of us do. But he knows that he has to. And so he is telling Peter, don't try and tempt me. I am doing the will of my Father. You don't understand. This is required. This is necessary. Verse 24. Then said Jesus unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited, if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death, till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. This kind of repeats something he taught earlier, so I'm not going to get into that. This last statement, there'll be some here that will not taste death until he returns. This is referring to John, the beloved. He does not die. He is translated. He is given that blessing. But we're going to leave that there and quickly turn to our Joseph Smith translation and see what we got. There are quite a number here, but most of them, again, are just grammatical updates. So, verse 13, we have, instead of when Jesus came, it is and when Jesus came. In verse 14, it is rendered, some say John the Baptist. Nice and simple. In 15, saith is changed to said. In 17, we have this instead, flesh and blood hath not revealed this unto thee, but my Father who is in heaven. Minor grammatical corrections. In verse 21, that he must go unto Jerusalem, corrected to must go to Jerusalem. In verse 22, instead of this shall not be unto thee, this shall not be done unto thee. Minor. Verse 24, instead of if any man will come after me, it is if any will come after me. We're including women in there now. But we have then here verses 25 and 26 do have significant changes. Let us read this. And now, for a man to take up his cross is to deny himself from all ungodliness, and from every worldly lust, and keep my commandments. Break not my commandments for to save your lives. For whosoever will save his life in this world shall lose it in the world to come. And whosoever will lose his life in this world for my sake shall find it in the world to come. Therefore forsake the world and save your souls. For what is a man profited? That makes things much more clear. If we value our mortal life more than God, we will not receive the reward. If we are willing to break his commandments in order to save our own lives, we're just not going to be rewarded in heaven. So I'm going to end it here for now, and I will see you then.